A stand-up member for some other people might be the problems that Mr. Johnson has with truth. Why do people laugh at him when he says that truth is important?
You always get sniggers in the audience, not least because people that back one or other candidate turn up. But what really
Would this be
matters-
perhaps because he's been sacked twice for lying?
No, I think the reality is that it's what people make of him in the living rooms up and down the country. The people that are listening to this show, and the polling showed, the Snap poll showed by 2-1, they thought Boris Johnson was most fit to be Prime Minister. And
The
that's
studio audience comprise those people. They're not shipped in from another planet, Mr. Raab, and they laughed at the Prime Minister. When it comes to truth, and there's nothing really more important than that, is it? When it comes to truth, the public laugh at the Prime Minister.
No, I don't think that's true. What
Well,
they want
you were
to
watching,
see above
were you?
all... Well, I was there.
Yeah,
So
so you-
look, people love a good snigger at all politicians, right? That's the nature of the age we're in. The age of deference is over. We understand that. But what people really want when they're in the polling booth and they're deciding where to put that X in the box is to know who will deliver. And Boris explained how he delivered in London. He, I think, was excellent in explaining that against all the doubters, he delivered a Brexit deal. And of course, we set out our plans. We're very clear. We've got a deal. We want to move the country forward. All people have to do is vote for a Conservative candidate, clear the blockage in Parliament, and we get the country moving forward. And on that crucial question, and I do think this comes down to trust, Jeremy Corbyn can't tell you whether he's for or against leaving in the EU. I mean, we're only 3 years on from the referendum.
Okay.
We're halfway through the selection campaign, and neither he nor his top brass in the Labour Party can say whether they're for or against leaving the EU.
What?
That's not leadership. And
Why?
that's why I think by 2-1, Boris was regarded by viewers across the country as the most prime ministerial.
I must put a couple of other questions while I have the benefit of you on the
Sure.
line. What was the thinking behind the Conservatives rebranding their Twitter account as Fact Check UK? Why did you do, not you personally, but why did the Conservatives do that? Why did they misrepresent themselves?
Well, actually, it was very clear that it was linked to CCHQ on the handle, but the reality is we get so much rubbish thrown at us that we've upped our game with instant rebuttal so that when we get this nonsense around the NHS and privatisation being put by the Labour Party, which they know is not true, we rebut it very clearly, and I thought Boris turned that around into a positive.
Yes, but Fact Check UK implies it's an independent site, and clearly, if it's people by the Conservatives, it's not.
Well, I don't think so, because it had CCHQ on the handle. But what we're going to do when it comes to things like the NHS is rebut the nonsense. We're the ones
hold
who
on.
thought the
But, Mr. Raab,
34 billion plan
Mr.
to
Raab,
put
if it has
investment-
CCHQ on the handle, why rename it?
Because we want to make sure people know that we're rebutting the rubbish that is serially and systematically put out against the Conservatives. It was done in the last election. We're not going to just sit idly by and not rebut that stuff, which is why on the NHS we don't think that's a weak point for us. We think it's a strong point for us because we're the ones with the plan to invest in the hospitals, the nurses, the doctors, and also the technology to prevent cancer earlier, to provide the care that those that are suffering from dementia or diabetes need. And we're the ones with the credible answers to the problems the country faces.